like balanced way. Rather, it is recommended that very low carbohydrate we should not go for, and very low calorie, even not more, less than 800 per kilocalorie per day. We should not go along with this side. We should avoid processed food and high fat food, ready to cook food, and instead of, we have to look for freshly cooked or somewhat 80% in a day at least we should include.
Yes, Rajal. I want to add I recently went through a study in which it was took place in Germany, and studies show that there were two groups. Comparative study was taken place, and in that study two groups where first group was on normocaloric diet, and the experimental group was on short-term high caloric diet full of high fats and all the processed foods we like often. Okay, so within 5 days they observed insulin sensitivity was remarkably compromised. Within 5 days.
Within 5
okay.
days. Yeah.
So there is not about long-term calorie consumption, but it's also about short-term high caloric consumption.
We have to look for this.
So this is the recent study I went through.
I would also like to add something here. As Panami has said very correctly. Even in our day-to-day practice, when we simply shift a person from a high-calorie diet to a moderately high-calorie to a complex carbohydrate diet and slightly high in fat also, then it also reduces blood sugar levels very drastically. Even the next day fasting blood sugar level will be lesser and PP will be lesser than the previous day. That fast is the change.
But we have to look for longer time even, because if we are looking for remission, we have to consider that point even. That's good.
It was about not about weight gain or weight loss. It was
insulin sensitivity.
Yes.
Understood.
Sensitivity was remarkably compromised even without remarkable weight gain.
Yes, okay. So particularly talking about diabetes and prevention of it, lots of factors are working. But here I would like to now go to Krishna. And in today's lifestyle, because of this hectic schedule and all, we are ready to catch up the whatever available, hasty eating and all the we mash up our metabolism. So how can you justify? Rather, I would like to talk about circadian rhythm, and in this lifestyle, how you connect like important biological relationship of circadian rhythm with IR. And please also focus on this is disruption or this misalignment, how it impact insulin resistance.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this question. I think this is one of my favorite questions. How many of you sleep at your circadian clock?
Here you are to give us
just one
tips. Krishna, you are here to give us tips.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Whether we talk about calories, whether we talk about the caloric intake or the carb intake or protein intake, fat intake, anything. What I personally believe and what we have seen is, if you are not working according to the circadian rhythm of your body, nothing works. Right, because circadian rhythm is very, very important, because that will affect or that will impact your hormonal release, be it your metabolism, be it your basic hormone secretions and the other functions that we look up to. So as we talk about circadian rhythm and the hormonal imbalance or the release, we all know about cortisol. That's the stress hormone, which is one of the major reason, because we come up to a lot of patients. They might be following a very strict balanced eating pattern, which is prescribed by a qualified dietitian only, with a very good exercise pattern and everything. And when we work upon the baseline, why the weight loss doesn't happen, why the sugars are not under control, we come to know that they are not working according to their circadian clock. So that is one of the most important thing. Right, because if the cortisol levels are elevated, the stress hormone is elevated, which usually happens if we have, the chronic circadian clock is not proper. That ultimately leads to imbalance in the glucose metabolism, and which leads to hyperglycemia, and as a compensatory mechanism, hyperinsulinemia helps. So ultimately your sugar levels and everything is not controlled. So the resistance increases, and of course the sensitivity decreases. So the main motto of doing every efforts, be it any sort of diet,
Circadian rhythm should be.
should
But
be
I
the
would like to
baseline,
add
yeah.
on this, cortisol level and along with that melatonin.
Melatonin, yes,
Yeah,
of course.
melatonin is very badly disrupted and you are not getting good sleep. And before that, you are trying to eat something and try to satisfy your sweet tooth, something. So all psychological, pathological factors are disrupted.
Correct. So when we talk about this eating pattern and everything, as I said, when I asked this question, there was only 1 or 2 people who genuinely said that they sleep according to their circadian
Looking
rhythm.
forward to getting more tips from you at last, Krishna. Thank you. I would like to go next to Dr. Alkaben. Because we have today this carb, calorie and circadian rhythm on top, but I would like to emphasize on genetic factor because nowadays genetic and epigenetic is playing a role for this diabetes whole scene. And she is working at GeoStar as a tailor-made diet on genotype. So I would like to, ma'am, ask you, that's seen many reasons, high carbohydrate food and all habits, our lifestyle is creating this impact. But how we have to consider this genetic phenomena, or rather explain individual who are actually prone to, at risk, and in that people, how importantly we should consider this genophenomena, right? And how can we identify genetic component of insulin resistance in clinical practice, ma'am?
Thank you, Rajan, and thank you, RIMS, for inviting me. As we see, all of us have been discussing lifestyle. So total lifestyle modification is the need for insulin resistance. But we have seen, studies have shown that if we make lifestyle changes, it can reduce the insulin resistance rather than the patient taking only metformin. So there are studies which are showing this. So a small change in the lifestyle can affect the genetic phase also. We all know the epigenetic factors like DNA methylation. Either it activates or it reduces the gene signaling for insulin resistance. So genetics play, we should go thoroughly for genetic counseling, genetic testing. But genetic testing these days is very
Costly,
expensive.
yeah.
It is the need of the hour, but we can always say that a thorough investigation of the family history and a thorough investigation of type 2 diabetics as well as people with metabolic syndrome.
So you are
So we
telling
can,
we have
at
to
least we
consider.
can, yes, we have to consider that so we can understand what genes can be affected by it.
Yes, actually nowadays, it's actually need of our, but it is little costly and we can go through the history. For by history we can know about the genetic phenomena at most, and we can rule out epigenetic factors to lesser activate this genetic phenomena, right? So we have to look for few cases or some cases where we are not getting proper results. Okay, so moving towards like some tools, solutions regarding this carb, calories, and I would like to ask Akruti how calorie restriction affects insulin resistant, especially elaborate some sources, calorie sources, if you can say how it create impacts.
See, caloric source and quality both are equally important. So quality and quantity both matters in calorie counting and calorie deficit meals.
So portion meal you are telling.
Yes, yes, portion as well as quality of that meal. Meal should be nutrient dense, right? अकेला कैलोरी काउंट करके मील प्लान नहीं होता है, तो उसमें मैक्रो एंड माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स का बैलेंस भी इट इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट. एंड because of calorie deficit diet we can reduce oxidative stress, mitochondrial function gets improved, and overall metabolic response would be great because of calorie deficit diet. And from sources.
How deficient? How much deficient? Calorie. Initially, how much we go to reduce? 500 kilocalorie per.
500 to 750 calories deficit per day would be okay.
With the micronutrients.
With all the micronutrients.
That is main focus.
Yes.
Right.
Balanced meals should be our prior focus.
Can you give some example for high quality calories diet? मतलब high quality, how can we include examples?
We can add lean proteins, more of fibers, right? And other micronutrient rich, जो कम कैलोरीज में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा न्यूट्रिशन दे सकते हैं, वो हमारे पास सीक्रेट्स हैं. All the time we can prescribe.
Yeah.
Right? So carefully crafted diet should be there.
Okay. Okay, my next question to Shipra ma'am. That's so I would also like to ask, what are potential risk or downside of long-term low carbohydrate or versus calorie, if you can elaborate.
If a person is consuming a low carbohydrate diet for a long time, say less than 800 calories and so, depending upon the restrictions,
but it is not recommended, right?
Not recommended at all, but usually people do such things, or they may go for a keto diet or something like that, which is also not calorie restricted, but definitely nutrient restricted only. So there are multiple effects, like multiple nutrient deficiencies are there. Then there would be electrolyte deficiency. Because of electrolyte deficiency, the chances of arrhythmia is high. Amenorrhea may occur in the females who are on the long-term very low-calorie diet. Then there are chances of fatty liver formation because of excessive generation of fat from the liver. And the chances of gallstones are even higher in those who are following a very low-carbohydrate diet. And maybe the chances of multiple vitamin and mineral deficiencies are there. B12, D3 are very common otherwise, and otherwise also other deficiencies can occur because of a low-calorie diet. Anything else that you would like to add?
Actually, we have to take care not over calories, not lower
not over,
calories.
as she said that about 500 to 750 calorie deficient diet is sufficient.
Yeah, it's
the diet should be planned according to the person's needs. That is, BMI is fine, but basal metabolic rate should also be taken care of.
Yeah.
And accordingly, you should calculate the BMR, and accordingly you should decide the calories for the patient, and again put the patient on an exercise regime. So you come to know how many calories are going to be taken in and how many are going to be
so we have to look for basal metabolic rate, how
so
body itself burning.
It's nothing like sorry to differ, but nothing like 500 to 700 less in any person's calories.
It is not
the
fixed that
thing has to be considered, and then you can reduce the calories.
If anyone comes, we have to straight away go 500 kilocalorie deficient. It's not like that way. Ma'am is telling. It's
another thing that I would like to focus is when we talk about the quality of the food, so we as dietitians we work a lot on different types of combinations of food. Say for example, if it is a combination of a carbohydrate plus some nut seed is there plus some protein is there, then it will form a very good and a healthy meal. I just give you an example of a daily, like for example when we eat poha for breakfast and when we eat handwa for breakfast. So both are equally considered as healthy, but poha is like a simple kind of a meal which is rich in carbohydrates, like it's just rice flakes only with some vegetables, few vegetables in it. But when we talk about handwa, it is a combination of some kind of a cereal, some kind of a protein, some kind of nut seeds are there, like til hai ya fir peanuts hai, and then a lot of vegetables are added in it, so it becomes a complete wholesome meal. So when we talk about the practical things, when we plan diet, we plan such things when from their daily diet they are consuming something which is giving them the wholesome of nutrition.
Just to add on to what ma'am said,
yes.
Anyways, prolonged low-calorie diet would not do anything good to the body. Rather, it will decrease the metabolism, and it will be more difficult to lose weight and also control the sugars.
And low-calorie diet always come with little bit high fat.
Correct.
Yeah, and I would like to add on that's true that combination works miraculously and also helps to absorption, because nowadays we are facing problems with whatever we are taking. 4 almonds, is it 100% 4 almonds in our blood? No, its nutrients is always deficient. Even if we are taking 500 gram of calcium, our body is taking only 200 gram of calcium among this synthetic form. So we have to look for combination micronutrients. That's what our body will easily access or absorb the required nutrients. Okay, okay. I would go to Krishna yourself. Okay, can you please tell us that behavior changes and aligning circadian rhythm improves insulin resistance? Is it, and how?
Yeah, so as I said, that 100% it will change everything, because that is what I have observed in my patients. And even if I talk about my own self, in spite of doing a lot of efforts, there were times when, you know, patients come with us and tell us that nothing is working. And then this part comes into picture where we tell them that sleep is very, very important, because actually when your clock tells you to sleep, there are people who are awake at that time.
Circadian rhythm same for all, like sunrise to sunset, or how we have to look?
Yes. So when we talk about that, at that particular time when our circadian rhythm is working, right? So that time we have to sleep, because there are certain hormones which works accordingly, whether we call about our ghrelin and leptin as well, right? So if that is disturbed, of course the ghrelin level increases, which leads to a lot of hungers. And of course the add-on part which comes into picture is about the screen time, you know, the Netflix, chill. We are not talking about only the person who works shift-wise. They don't have options, but we do have options, but still we don't do that. So at the time of sleeping, actually,
manage hormones.
yes. So that leads to a lot of hormonal changes in the body, which ultimately leads to a lot of, you know, caloric intake that we do. We kind of grab anything
How
that's
to
there.
overcome it?
And of course, Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit adds to the point in that. So 100% that we have to work according to the circadian rhythm, and there are a lot of things which can be added, like for example, not taking caffeine 2-3 hours before the sleep, doing early dinners. In spite of being at home 8 o'clock, there are patients who will say कि रात को 10 बजे खाते हैं, that's our dinner time, that's
Family time.
Yeah, that's family time. So we usually counsel our patients to prioritize those things first and then change all of those. Of course, magnesium is one of the important nutrient which works for a good sleep. B12, omega-3, that is also one of the things that can be done. And lifestyle modifications, as we keep on talking about those things, I think sleep is one of the things which we usually don't consider. And that's one of the most important things which we need to counsel our patients, or for our own self as well. Because if that is disturbed, probably everything is disturbed in the body no matter what.
Actually, it is very challenging, that circadian rhythm. We follow it regularly for long term, and along with that screen time, because हम free होते हैं रात को, answer ही रात को देते हैं. So I would add on that we should at least avoid screen time before 2 hours. We can try it out practically. Not we are going to take our dinner 7 o'clock, sleep by 9:30, 10, but it's reasonably, little bit. Okay. For my next question, I would like to go with. Yeah, Alka ma'am. How strong is the genetic component of IR, and how can it be identified in clinical practice? So are there any specific gene variant that dietitians should be taking care of?
See, we have been commonly talking about FTO. Have you heard about FTO? FTO gene is the gene that is responsible for insulin resistance and obesity and eating disorders. That is, appetite regulation. So one is FTO.
Mike, ma'am. Mike.
One is FTO. Second is PPARG. That is the gene that is responsible for adipocyte and glucose metabolism. And the third gene is TCFL2. That is responsible directly for insulin resistance. So, and increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. So if we look out for these genes, like if we get the genetic testing done and these genes are upregulated, we can always go for a proper diet, go for proper screening of the patient, and then guide the patient or advise the patient for a proper diet modification.
Ma'am, any condition in your practice if you have suggested at which state ये कब करवाना चाहिए ऐसा ही physician will
Not.
physician call.
એ ફિઝિશિયનનું કામ છે,
Okay.
નોટ ધ ડાયટિશિયન.
Okay, but we have to
એન્ડ
be-
ડાયટિશિયનને કોઈ જેનેટિક ટેસ્ટિંગ માટે સાંભળશે પણ નહીં. તો ઇટ ઇઝ ધ ફિઝિશિયન એન્ડ આઈ થિંક અ સુપર સ્પેશિયલિસ્ટ would be guiding them.
Okay, but at least if we are knowing about it,
But
we can suggest.
if you have a strong genetic history of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome, you can always ask
for
for the
screening.
patient to
It-
go
it
for
really impacts for the
genetic
treatment.
testing
Yeah.
so that diet stratification can be done.
Okay. So moving towards the practical solution, I would like to ask all for a few questions are like how can, especially Shipra ma'am, if are there any recent findings that shape our understanding for carbohydrate or insulin or practical tips implementation कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Yeah. So the screening is really
With
important.
example.
Yeah, screening is really important. For screening for insulin resistance, we can go for multiple tests. Dietary recall or dietary history plays a role in this. Apart from this, we have different type of tests which are available, like HbA1c, and then your C-peptide, lipid profile, fasting insulin, and all these are the HOMA-IR are the tests which we can use for screening of the person for the presence of insulin resistance. And apart from this, as dietary, from the dietary part, we can say that there are newer roles of the gut microbiota in this, wherein gut microbiota really plays a big role in improving the intestinal permeability and thus helping in reducing the leaky gut case, wherein the chances of leakage of lipid fatty acids in the bloodstream are higher. So your good gut bacteria plays a big role in this. So newer researches are coming up with recent researches shows that the role of complex or the resistant starch or the soluble and insoluble fiber in controlling the insulin resistance. So in terms of food, I think we all can elaborate in this. There are few foods like raw banana, then garlic, onions, which are a part of our daily diet, different kinds of seeds. So these are good sources of insoluble fiber. Oats हो गया, अलग-अलग तरीके के brands हो गए. They all are good for providing the good bacteria, like the food for the good bacteria. Then the bacteria feed on it and grows and forms a good colony in the intestine, which helps further in controlling the insulin resistance.
Yes.
Others would like to elaborate in this.
I would say that the foods she has mentioned, the raw ones, they are prebiotics. So once the prebiotics enter the intestine and the probiotics, if you're taking a supplement, pre and probiotics together, yes, can
Symbiotic,
help in insulin resistance.
Actually,
Reducing
nowadays,
the insulin resistance.
nowadays it's a
Again,
big channel.
there are so many nutrients individually, like polyphenols, fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, good dietary short-chain fatty
Anti-inflammatory.
acids,
Yes.
which are helpful in creating a better environment in the gut, improving the bacterial colony, which helps in reducing the all types of diseases.
And we vegetarian
Maybe
are mostly lacking for
gut-brain axis, maybe it liver axis, any organ. It's definitely the health is improved with this.
And we vegetarian having a lacking side of omega-3 instead omega-6 on a higher side, and inflammation always be there as a metabolic. So we have to look for gut microbiota, and so inflammation, and so liver health, especially obesity, visceral obesity, and anyhow how can we improve our insulin sensitivity and decrease the insulin resistance? Any practical tips? How we are tackling in our day-to-day practice IR patients?
सी
और prevent
हम
it.
क्या दे रहे हैं और कितनी कैलोरीज काउंट करके दिए पेशेंट का उससे कोई लेना देना नहीं होता. एज फार एज माई पेशेंट्स आर कंसर्न, वो एकदम रूरल एरिया से आते हैं, उनको कुछ भी पता नहीं होता है. बट वी कैन एजुकेट देम, वी कैन मेक देम रीड लेबल्स at some extent, not everything, but we can educate them to spot hidden calories, empty sugar, empty calories and refined sugar, refined carbohydrates, where they comes from. वहाँ पर ये पैकेज छोटे छोटे जो स्नैक्स के पैकेट्स होते हैं वो काफ़ी वहाँ पर प्रिवेलेंस है.
रूरल एरिया में तो ये बहुत
हाँ,
common
तो ये उनको नहीं आइडिया है कुछ भी कि उसमें कितनी कैलोरीज ऐड कर देते हैं.
तो वो लोग सुनते हैं, they are listening that
Yes, definitely. Because they don't know. When we will educate them, they will listen to. Right. So, according to me,
nowadays youngsters are also affecting.
Yes,
20s,
behavioral
30s.
changes are must. It's not about only counting calories, truly said, but also about behavioral changes.
Krishna, you want to add something? We are running lack of time.
Sure. Just to conclude about everything, as we are running out of time now, calories, proteins, carbs, ये सब हम calculate करते देते हैं पेशेंट्स को, पूरा प्लान देते हैं, एक्सरसाइज प्लान बना के देते हैं, फॉलो अप लेते हैं, बट हाउ मच दे पुट इनटू प्रैक्टिस, एज शी सेड अबाउट द बिहेवियरल चेंजेस, दैट इज़ मस्ट टू टेक इनटू अकाउंट, बिकॉज ये सारी चीज़ें तभी वर्क करेगी जब they are following what you have told them to in terms of changing their lifestyle, right? And as we said that calories important hai, protein important hai, fat,
So
good
lifestyle
fats,
changing
balanced
to bahut
meal,
kuch aa jata hai.
yes. So and the most important thing what Alka ma'am also told and Shipra ma'am told about the gut health, that's also one of the important things. So my topic is very very important. अगर आप अच्छे से नहीं सोएंगे तो
let's see
the gut,
how much time is
the gut
left.
microbiota is going to affect, and of course
Audience
metabolism
can connect
is affected.
even outside. Let me pass on mic to Smita ma'am. And yes,
so
please.
Very excellent discussion. The all panelists had talked regarding this diet, exercise.